on a feature film, at the very last moment before the Bombay door closes, you can change a line of dialogue. You can cut a scene. You can't add a scene at the very last second, but close to the last second, you can think, you know what, if that character just smiled right there, it could change the meaning of the rest of the movie. And so you can make those subtle surgical changes really, really late. In an attraction, most attractions are at their core a building. So you have to do a lot of planning up front and go, okay, is that the building I want? Go ahead, construction guys, see you in 2 or 3 years, and we'll move into the building with our show. While that's happening in parallel, you're building sets, audio animatronic figures, whatever else, media, recording sound, scoring the thing, recording dialogue, or all the other components you're bringing into play. There's a lot of balance and things that you can tweak when you start bringing all those components together in the last few months of an attraction, but you can't move a wall, So there are real limits, but I actually really enjoy that moment when you finally see it all come together. And just by playing with certain things and playing with the timing, there's a lot of things that physically move. There's a lot of sound effects, there's music cues, lighting cues you can play with. You can really craft the experience. And it's a very exciting time in the life of an attraction because that's when you're putting on a show and you really get that spontaneous feeling. Well, I feel like I really do have one of the best jobs in the world. The team at Imagineering is so incredible, and I'm basically working with many different teams within Imagineering on all the different Pixar-inspired projects that are going on at any given time. Right now, we're about to open Toy Story Land in Hong Kong Disneyland next month. We're building Cars Land in Southern California. Disney California Adventure to open in summer of 2012. We're building a fantastic version of Toy Story Mania that's going to open in Tokyo Disneyland next summer. So there are so many different projects. What's really great is that each one really has its own set of unique problems, its own set of unique challenges and opportunities, because every great Disney attraction is a prototype. We haven't done it before. And so you're constantly problem solving, and it's a puzzle-making aspect to it that I think I really, really enjoy, because you're constantly running into surprises like, we hadn't thought of that. When we were making the Nemo submarine voyage, we knew that there were submarines, and they had 20 windows on a side, and that the submarine would be moving by our sets and our characters. Well, that's fine. So when we first started building a previs of the whole world, 3 previs, so we could ride through the attraction. We also were storyboarding what all the characters were going to be doing, and we put in scratch dialogue like we do for our movies. We'd been watching from the first window for a few months, and somebody had the bright suggestion, why don't we look at it from one of the other windows? We're like, oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. And we went back to like window number 5, we're like, oh, well there's Marlin, like, Dory, do you know where Nemo is? Oh yeah, I think he went that way. Okay, well you kind of missed a little bit of it, but it's not bad. What's going to happen in C10? Dory, do you know where Nemo is? I don't know, I think he went that way. Well, C20, like that scene was long gone and dead, and we just hadn't realized, oh my God, we can't design for window 1. We actually have to design a show that makes sense at window 1, but stays alive to window 10 and to window 20. And at window 20, window 1 is actually already into the next scene with different characters, and yet they all share an audio space. And that was one of the craziest, wildest puzzles to solve. Like, how do we do that? How do we tell a story that makes sense to everyone audio-wise as a coherent group, but visually everyone is having a slightly different experience? And it took us about 6 months to then wrap our heads around that and redesign every scene that we've been building to address that problem. And that's the fun thing. You just never even know what the problem is that's lingering out there. You try to anticipate and problem solve, but you're constantly being thrown these surprises. And that's really what keeps it exciting and fun, is that every project has its own unique problems and its own unique solutions. When we make a feature film, it's thrilling, and many of us at Pixar go to a regular theater on opening weekend just see it with an actual audience, a paying audience, to find out how do they react, when do they laugh, when do they get quiet. And that's really, really gratifying. But after a while, it's not in the theaters anymore. And probably, I'm sure, right this moment, there's someone in the world watching Toy Story. There's someone in the world watching Finding Nemo. But you can't sit in their living room and watch them react to it. You can only imagine, well, I hope people still like it in the same way. The great thing about the theme parks is, right this moment, right this second, I know that there are people in Paris, we're in Italy, so I know there are people in Paris who are riding all the attractions at Toy Story Playland. And I can go there, and I get to see people coming off attractions, laughing and happy, and having had a shared experience with their friends and family. And that is so fun. And if you ever feel blue about anything, or like, oh my God, this is just too tricky, what am I doing? You just go and you get to see people experiencing the things you've built before, and it's just the best feeling in the world. The View conference, which I had heard about for years, is really it's a gem here hiding in Torino. I mean, Maria Elena and the conference do a remarkable job of bringing phenomenal people from all over the world and to this really fairly intimate venue. The kind of thing at SIGGRAPH you'd expect to be in a hall with 2,500 people, and here you are with 200 people hearing these top people talk about their work and share their experiences. I think it's fantastic. I just don't tell anyone about it. It's great.